My chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control.
Shut up and sit down.
I didn't know you rode bikes.
I didn't know you rode bikes.
Let's go butt shopping fast.
I love my bike, I love to ride. Crank those pedals, feel such peace inside.
Hot seat.
Watch the trees, clouds, and sky, let my cares fall away.
Hi, welcome to the hot seat.
Hear the kids laugh, I laugh too, let's ride away.
You are listening to the Dialed Podcast with Matt Legrand, Evan Price, Lance Hepler, and Jake Von During. Here is a random thought for your day. No other emotion plays such a disruptive role in our lives as anger. While angry, our reasoning, which is necessary for thoughtful decision-making, is impaired. So, it's your choice. You can be bitter, or you can be better.
Here comes another bike. Hi there.
Hot seat.
Funny how it makes me smile. Lots of bikes
You
everywhere.
are sitting in the hot seat.
Wish we were all cyclophiles. What was it Einstein said about hope for humanity? I push the pedals, feel the heartbeat today.
When I drink Bang Energy, I feel like I can see other people's words.
Because you're reading a book.
Oh.
Hi, and welcome back to the Dial Podcast. I'm Jake Von During, and I'm here with Lance friggin' Hepler.
Lance friggin' swamp-ass Hepler.
Swamp-ass Hepla.
We're
going to
like 5 words in the first.
Swamp-ass. Frickin' swamp-ass.
Friggin' swamp-ass.
Yep. To his left, Evan Price.
Going off of that note, staying very hydrated today. What's everybody drinking here?
Oh, that's a good
Jake
point.
has a 72-ounce jug of water sitting over there.
It's got
And
3
coffee.
drinks.
I'm triple
And a
fisting it,
LaCroix.
baby.
Yeah, coffee. He's got his
Triple
LaCroix.
fisting. You don't even have 3 fists. You're going to have some sort of like cradle of drinks. Ooh, that sounded nice.
Wow.
What's the difference between an American lemonade and an Aussie lemonade? Serious question. I don't know.
Alcohol?
One goes
If
down the
it's
Is
drain.
that actually
Aussie?
it? I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. I just
One
make that
goes
up.
down the drain counterclockwise. Clockwise.
You should look that up because I feel like I don't know that, but it'd be funny if it was like, oh yeah, it's Aussie, it's alcoholic, and Lance is like chugging it.
Why am I feeling so
Juice
happy over
monster.
here?
Listen to the monster.
Nice. Last but not least, back here in the greater Pacific Northwest
In
area,
studio.
Mr. Matt
What's
Legrand.
up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? You guys are looking pretty similar to where I left you. You're looking pretty
a
similar.
little tanner, maybe.
Little tanner. I'm a little more burnt.
We missed you, Matt.
Yeah, well,
We missed you.
I mean, what's not to miss?
There's a hole in my heart that only you can
It's
fill.
tough. It's tough when one of us is gone.
I know.
Tough times.
Hey, let's do some backpedaling. Matt, you've been gone. Backpedal. Let's hear what you've been up to.
Swamp ass report. You guys. Okay, so
What's the swamp ass situation in North Carolina?
In North Carolina. So I spent 2 weeks gone. I spent the first week in Michigan, which was hot, and then the next week in North Carolina, and it was extremely hot and humid. And Swamp Ass was fine, but I was actually listening to the podcast. And I mentioned this earlier, but I was listening to the podcast and listening to you guys complain about heat, and that was funny because it was like you could not even breathe outside. It was so hot, and so
Because you're in the
that's
South
real
where
heat.
there's so much. It's the same
That's
heat as
actual
here,
heat.
but actual humidity.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly, yes.
Which
I
makes
drove-
it just feel a million times worse.
I
It's
drove
not even comparable.
I drove through the southern states last year during July and August.
And remember
I-
all those people that knew my
I
name.
hated it.
You hated it.
I hated it.
was
I'm
so
like,
hot.
this is dumb. I don't even. Why are people outside?
Having been born in Florida, I have no idea how people actually live in those states year round.
Ethan, my oldest
How
kid.
is there anybody there during the summer?
Ethan, my oldest kid, was like, "Why do people live here?" Like, serious question.
Yeah.
Serious question. Why do
Like,
people live
he's not
here?
joking. He's like, no, really. Like, why are people
Why do
here?
people live here?
I mean, really think about that. So, some of the best athletes in the country come from those states. No, duh. Because if you're doing anything in August at that time, you're amazingly fit. Like, you are incredibly fit.
And so when we got into the water and we hung out at the beach for a while, he was like, "Oh yeah, I could live here." And I'm like, "Okay, you change your tune a little
On
bit."
the beach.
On
Because
the
you're
beach.
on
Yeah,
the
like
beach,
I'd have to
in the
live
water.
literally
And,
like there on the beach.
I'm no longer a triathlete. I'm a surfer now. You can see I have this hat.
Oh, you do have Surf City,
Surf hat,
Wrightsville
see?
Beach, North
So,
Carolina.
I'm a surfer now, guys.
I'm also about to fight you over something here. So would
Is
you
it
say
surfing? Is it
that-
surfing related?
No.
Then shut up.
No, this is completely not surf related.
Changing my YouTube channel.
He has-
Everything's changing.
He has Wrightsville Beach on there. Now, do you think North Carolina was the first state in flight? Now that you're a North Carolina native, because you
Now that
visited
I
there
know
for a week,
I
yeah.
do actually know everything
You
about
can
North
speak
Carolina
for everybody
now.
in North Carolina. Yeah.
I would say that they are the first in flight is their like state nickname or something like that.
Yeah.
However, Ohio's I don't know, birthplace of flight, because the Wright brothers were born.
Birthplace versus
that's
okay.
I'll give you that distinction. That's what it is, and it's
they're buried in Dayton, Ohio, for the record. They're buried in Ohio.
A lot of people, go to Ohio to die. But I don't know if that means that we should like celebrate. I don't know if we should celebrate the place.
That's a good point.
Wow, that was such a good I really have nothing to that comeback. That was such a good comeback.
So I think it's interesting that they have this like Ohio's nickname thing. It's like birthplace of aviation. I think it's something like that.
We fought each other on the coins. Because do you remember those 50-cent state coins?
It's not a fight. It's just like one.
Oh, it's a fight.
This
is what we care about these states. Okay.
Of. The next is first in flight. And I can see how there's a little bit like of confusion there.
Dude, when it's 90% humidity and you don't like the state you in, you fight over this stuff. You fight to the death over this.
Them a fighting words. So where do you think the first flight took place?
Well, it was. Really, it was.
Would you say that it's North Carolina? Is
it's
like a
Kitty Hawk or something?
Kitty Hawk. Kitty Hawk is the
yeah.
Yes.
So you would say North Carolina.
Yeah, but if you
shut up, Evan.
If you grew up in Alabama and then went and did your first professional race in Portland, would you say I'm a professional runner from Portland, or would you say I'm from Alabama?
I'd say roll tide roll.
Exactly. Okay.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think that's the thing is like they're like, this is where the first flight took place. And then it's not like the Wright brothers were from there, right?
Yeah.
They're from Ohio.
Yeah, I know.
What was in North Carolina?
It must. I wonder if
it
it's
was
like
very flat, good conditions.
Good conditions, maybe.
Time.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But
I mean, for you, I don't care about the Wright brothers anymore.
You don't?
That plane has sailed.
What are we supposed to be talking about in this podcast?
Too close. Stay on target. No, I was doing a lot of family stuff. So we did family stuff in Michigan. We did my wife's family, and then we did another family, my family in North Carolina. My whole family met there, and we got a house on the beach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so my brother lives in Raleigh, so I flew into Raleigh, and then we actually ended up spending an extra night on the tail end of the trip at his house, which was good.
Oh, cool.
And he's got 3 kids, younger than mine, but all, like this, it's a lot of kids, a lot of cousins, a lot of, he has like a 1-year-old. I'm like, oh man, that's
another world.
You just forget, like you immediately.
And he's an older brher, right?
This is my younger brother.
Or younger, how old
I have
is he?
an older brother with 2 kids
Oh,
also.
okay, gotcha.
So we had a lot of cousin time.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's something. So this was kind of like his 40th birthday celebration, even though his birthday was like a month before. But whatever. I mean, it's close enough. So I don't think I got him anything.
I've been to Asheville in North Carolina, and that city was fantastic.
Yeah,
Asheville was really cool.
That's like the mini Portland.
Asheville's really cool. Yeah,
yeah,
that's a very cool city.
They had like a Michelin-starred vegan restaurant there. It was
that actually doesn't surprise me. Asheville was pretty,
Yeah, but anyway.
I don't think Wrightsville Beach had a vegan restaurant.
No vegan place
what's
there.
interesting is there was a ton of
or
triathletes.
any vegans.
There was a ton of triathletes. There were a lot of people biking, a lot of people with TT bars.
How
out
close
there
is
on the
Wrightsville
roads.
to? Is it pretty close to Raleigh?
It was 2 hours.
Okay.
So
I knew some guys who raced who were from Raleigh.
There was so that's exactly where the Ironman North Carolina half Ironman thing is, right? It's at they swim there, and they actually have T1 there, and then they bike into whatever the other the next town is.
Durham?
No,
I have no idea.
No. That's
North
that's way
Carolina
up.
University.
But anyway, yeah, it'll come to me.
Nice.
But anyway, so that's where the Ironman race is, and I'm wondering if that's why there were a whole bunch of triathletes there.
Probably.
I did a couple of open water swims, met up with a group.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, met up with a group
very cool.
in Wrightsville. I don't know. It was great.
Nice.
Cool.
Did not bike.
Pretty cool
I forgot how to
beach
bike.
town.
I've forgotten how to bike over the past 2 weeks. That's my back pedal.
Because you had no bike with you. So you didn't
But you
bike
ran
at
and
all.
swam.
I brought
nice.
bike stuff because I thought I'd maybe rent a bike or whatever, and I just never did.
Family stuff just it took over.
It's one of those things where you think you're going to have all this time to do stuff, and you're like, oh, we were busy doing family whatever the whole time.
Or driving or traveling. Or
everything. Surfing. A lot of time surfing. And I got sunburned. First day in North Carolina.
Just get it out of the way.
Well done.
Just
Not
go ahead.
shocking.
Just let the
Not
peeling
shocking.
begin. Not smart.
did you wear
You're
sunscreen?
kind of a
You're like, I
ginger,
tried.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So
Super
you burn
ginger.
easy,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I can get
This
burned
is
on a
probably the
cloudy day.
tannest I've seen you in a while, though.
Well,
You look tan's a
burn.
strong word for what you are
that's what
right
we
now.
call a burn.
This is the pinkish. I think I've
Pinkish.
seen you.
Yeah. So there's that, and And hopefully that gets me bike acclimated for getting back into the Pacific Northwest and biking with you guys.
There you go. Sweet. You're fully acclimated.
We're happy to have you back.
Yep. What are you guys doing? Are you guys still sticking to the Tuesday? What is it? Tuesday gravel.
Tuesday
Wednesday
gravel.
lunch ride,
Wednesday
Thursday.
lunch ride. Thursday flogging.
Friday fog hat.
Friday fog hat.
I got to catch some of those rides, man.
Yeah.
Before the summer's
There's a few
over.
other things coming on the calendar too.
Do you guys feel like summer's starting to like close down a little bit?
in there?
Yeah, it's going to be 90, like 8 today, though.
I
So
know, but I
as soon
feel
as
like
it's not 98, I'll think it's closing
maybe
down.
it's just me. It's like school's starting up in a couple weeks. We
Yeah.
got to get ready for that.
Posted up the flogging ride and the fog hat ride, and on there I've always put like what the number of the season is, and I put a little reminder in there this past week that there's only 5 left.
Do you
we're on
remember
cross country starting up soon.
Soon, yeah.
Do you remember how depressing the end of summer was when we were like 12?
Oh yeah,
like
not for
where your kids are. It was
not
like
in
the end of the
Alabama.
world.
Not in Alabama.
Really?
Well, I mean,
when did school start in Alabama?
well, it starts earlier. It actually starts earlier.
Yeah, I remember we started early too.
Yeah, same.
And then Ohio, we got out. We were out like the first week of May.
Yeah,
because corn.
Because corn.
Because they thought we all still worked on farms.
That's literally why they.
I'm not making it up. That's actually why.
Yep. All right, that was a long back pedal. Sorry,
Evan.
A lot of
cracking that pole.
Back pedal.
Oh, don't worry. Matt's was cool, so we get to keep mine nice and short. I trained a bunch. I have a race coming up in 5 weeks, and it is just locked in, boring training.
How many hours last week?
Somebody come ride with me, please.
I didn't ride with you.
I keep on saying that. These like desperate, like, hey, who wants to come ride with me? They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, laps of Vancouver Lake. What bike you bringing? On the TT bike. Anybody want to come? No.
Nope.
Okay, cool.
I don't think I could even stay on your wheel.
It'd be a fun interval for you just to try and stay on the wheel, though. We could try and do this. It could be a fun little.
Good time.
It could be fun.
It'd be the funnest 10
It would
seconds
be
of my
so
day.
fun.
You would be
Lance.
out at Vancouver Lake at the same time as him.
Yes,
Just-
also true.
Just
yes.
come hang out with me, man.
No, the worst is Vancouver Lake by yourself. It's so flat and boring out there when you're just like by yourself on the road bike. I don't mind it on the TT bike.
I am the permanent local legend of Lower River Road. Like nobody has actually ridden that road as much as I have. I'm pretty sure.
That makes sense. And so in proximity to your house too, it's
Oh,
just
it's
like
perfect. It's perfect.
Jake and I rode out there yesterday, actually.
it's not bad when you have a couple people.
And
Yeah.
we both fought flats for the whole ride.
Yeah.
So
I know,
just, like,
yeah. The
trade-off.
flats out there have gotten. It's just people are just tossing glass. But yeah, I did. This block, I have convinced myself. I'm not exactly sure why, but I've completely convinced myself that to get in my best fitness, I can train between 25 to 28 hours a week, and if I hit that consistently, I will be really, really fit in 5 weeks. So that is the goal. But yeah,
That's a lot of hours.
it's a lot of hours.
I have some
Good
company
goal.
on my little Thursday track workouts now. No, though I got some of the fast little track kids who are out there running with me and Josh, and that's making it a little bit better for.
Those are Thursday morning. When are you doing those?
Yeah, like Thursday, I do the bike before. My Thursday workout is actually the most specific right now of the whole week.
It's like hard intervals and then go out to the track.
It's actually
more.
a pure. So I take my own lactate at one point on the bike, but it's a pure LT1, which is the ceiling of your aerobic ability on the bike. Which right now I'm obsessed with what watt number that is right now, and it's up to like 254.
We should do the shirt thing again.
We need to because
that thing was
I think
pretty
it'd be
interesting.
really good to
'Cause
see now. Yeah,
I
I think
we not have a power meter for you or something ridiculous.
I was also
We had-
like 2 days out of or 1 day
Oh,
out
yeah,
of
that's
Oceanside.
true.
I was pretty smoked.
But that's a good way to get like
a good idea where I'm
another
sitting,
adjustment
yeah,
of numbers. I don't know.
absolutely.
Might be interesting.
But yeah, I basically did that for an hour and 40 minutes in this bike workout in the Aerotuck at that wattage, staring at the YouTubes. And then straight off that, over to the track where the kids meet up, and I do a bunch of 3Ks. And all at race pace.
3Ks at race pace, huh? That's interesting.
I'm a little bit
distance.
above race pace because when the kids get excited, I'll kind of just
Yeah.
follow their pace. So we actually, I was like still under my LT2, but at like
10 minutes.
528.
Those are just like 10-minute poppers, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
something
10,
like that.
10 minutes. And then every other
Sub
week, I just
10.
do a long test. So I just take that same pace and try to translate it out to like 7 or 8 miles.
Okay.
So we'll see. It's a good little fitness build, but it doesn't mean anything if I don't do well in Santa Cruz. So we will see.
I think that's your race, man. You love that race.
I love that
It's
course.
The
It's
seals.
great.
It's the sea lions.
It's
It
the
is.
sea lions.
You get that
Something.
nice fighter flight when you're like, there could be great whites out here or seals trying to kill me. And you're like, I should swim fast.
You should swim fast.
Yeah.
Really, because I mean, like you think about it being a pack. There's a lot of motivation to be like, yeah, I should be in that pack because I'll tell you what, if there's a shark who's getting frisky around here, he's coming for me. He's not.
Are you afraid of orcas too?
Oh yeah, orcas are terrifying.
Those things will straight F up a great white.
Those are terrifying animals.
What's really funny is when a seal's going through the water, they will come up and they will hit it with their fin.
Yep.
That thing will fly like 20 feet out of the water and it's like spinning like mad and it's like knock the ass out. And it's just
orcas
done.
will like psychologically mess with their prey. Yeah. They will do things
whale. What do you expect?
Yeah. But like, I mean, you think about they're like sociopaths. They're all like there was.
Yeah.
Have you seen the videos of when they're like the seals on the ice? Like it's just like, and they'll like go by and hit this wave to like teeter the ice back and forth. Like, can you imagine a more terrifying situation?
Yeah.
Like, you're that seal. You're not that smart if you're a seal, but you know what's coming. You're like,
when you look at them, you think, oh, that's Shamu, and they have like this happy look on their face, and it's like a demented clown.
They're
you know what
terrifying.
I
Yeah.
mean?
They are actually, in my opinion, of all the predators
the right
in the world,
makeup.
they are the most terrifying predator.
Yeah.
They when they move into a certain area, the great sharks won't come back to that area for like years.
Oh yeah,
really?
Yeah, there's something. Somehow the sharks know to stay away from the area for like multiple years.
just generations of sharks are like, yeah, you don't go there.
You don't go there.
Period. Yeah.
We out.
Well, and then the orcas move somewhere else, and the sharks figure out not to be there anymore. It's really interesting.
I've done a couple sea kayaking trips around the San Juan Islands.
Yeah.
Did you see orcas?
We did see
Oh
orcas.
my God,
And
cool.
my buddy Ryan Lee, he was
Are you
on
not
these
going
trips
back
with
for the
us.
next 4 years?
I wasn't afraid of them. I was like,
Yeah, you're
they
like,
don't really bother.
You very much
kayakers.
should be. But
Yeah.
what if they do?
So
It's
my
not
buddy Ryan-
that dangerous until they decide they
I
want to
know.
bother you.
Until they get the taste of human blood,
yeah.
and then
I mean, or
it's
this
good.
guy's mustache. You're like, this guy. This
Ryan
is
was
illegal.
crapping his shorts every day if there were like sightings.
I'm
in the area. And
100%
I'm
with
like,
you,
it's all
Ryan.
good.
Ryan, if you're
We're gonna
listening
be
to this
fine.
right now,
No,
you were 100% right. Tell Lance he's an idiot.
We did.
We started calling him Orca Bait instead of Ryan.
Oh man, we're like 17 minutes into this. We have not talked about bikes.
The
at
Wright Brothers and orcas and seals.
We're
and
killing it right now, guys. Yeah, this is good.
all. Podcasting gold.
This is great. That was my back pedal. There you go. Talking about orcas.
Oh, no.
Epler,
Yes.
go.
I rode 15 hours last week, which is it's like the
You
biggest
rode one
week I've
more
had
hour
in
on your
several
bike than I did.
months.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's I didn't race. I skipped all the races, but I rode almost every day. So I don't know. We had a great week on the bike. The gravel ride was a blast. It was hot. There weren't very many people there because it was hot.
Still fun though. Yeah.
It was still fun.
Triple digits, right?
Our lunch ride was good. Yeah. Yesterday or the day before was triple digits.
Yeah, the lunch ride was fun. It's supposed to be a Zone 2 ride, and I'm going to go on the record and just say sorry.
Yeah, that's your fault.
It's Jake's Zone 2 ride. It's not
Yeah.
the rest of our Zone 2 ride. So it always ends up getting a little
Well, I had
spicy.
missed the whole week, and I don't want to script your back pedal. I'd missed pretty much the whole week before. My legs just felt good. I'm like, I'm just going to go sit on the front. I'll pull everyone around today.
Sure.
I just pulled a little too hard in certain sections, and that's my bad. I'm going to fix
Wait,
that next week.
Did you get complaints?
No, but I know that just people were working a little bit harder, and you see the ride titles, and they're like Zone 2-ish or
that's what I know
Flogging
mine.
Light or whatever.
Flogging
Make
light.
sure to post it in the Strava comments.
Yeah.
Strava titles need some sort of cleverness to
Matt
them.
just
It
made
takes
up a
time.
fake ride there just to also join in.
I'm in.
Yeah, guys, that
I'm
was
in.
so not a Zone 2 ride.
I'm going to just join in on the comments.
Carry on.
Let me in.
I ended up there was the crit championships were on Saturday
Correct.
at University of Portland, and I wasn't real thrilled about the course, and so I wasn't real motivated to go do it. The course was very tight. It was not. There was lots of curbs, lots of poles, lots of turns, but
It's relatively short, too, yeah?
it was only a half-mile lap.
Oh,
It was half-mile lap, and there it was just like there were narrow roads. They weren't really that wide.
There's like a 180 hairpin turn in there, too, right?
There was a 180 hairpin turn in there, and so I
you
was
should not do well.
kind of him and hawing whether I should go do the race. And so the morning of the race, I thought, okay, when I wake up and I'll see what I feel like. And I woke up at like 9:15 a.m.
when was the last time you slept in
I
past 9?
I don't know. I woke up and I'm like,
I know what your work career looked like, and I know that 9 a.m. you were probably 4 patients in at that point.
yes,
So
I was. I'd been there for 2.5 hours at that point.
Yep.
I don't think I've woke up at 9 a.m. in like 2
that would
decades.
be that'd be tough
Yeah.
to actually sleep that long now.
Yeah, it was kind of bizarre.
I think it was a good idea to not race then.
And I'd already like missed my window to make it down there for the race. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not racing. So I got on my bike anyway, and I just rode down there to watch it.
Yeah,
and,
that's cool.
And like,
Do you still set alarms?
no,
I was wondering that.
I don't set alarms either.
I turned my alarm clock off 4 years ago.
Definition of like
I'm an
got a good
obsessive
lifestyle.
alarm person.
Well, I mean,
I know
you kind
No,
of.
you don't because you just wake up.
I will set
Your
my alarm
body
and I
clock
wake
gets
up
you up
10 to
before-
15 minutes before it goes
I'm
off.
usually I'll wake up 1 to 2 minutes before the alarm every single time. But
race days and travel days, I set alarms.
days.
That's it. Yeah. Just as like a fail safe, just in
Yes,
case.
just
you
how
have
old
a-
do I need to be to when I can set it off?
You're in the fight right now.
Okay,
Dude, you
so
have-
how many more years until I need
You
to
Many.
got like 2 more decades.
2 more decades.
Depends on
Gotcha.
your-
20 years. Okay.
Depends on like you could change careers. and
Time
then you
out
could
though.
do it.
There will be a point in time where he doesn't set an alarm because someone's going to start whining and crying in the middle of the night in the morning when you got to get up.
Actually, that's the truth. There's something about having like all these kids that wake up at 5 in the morning or whatever, and then all of a sudden they start sleeping in, and you're like, I can't stop waking up at 5. Like,
That's when you get broken.
Just wake up.
You are broken.
Yeah.
Well, you and I are broken.
Yeah, our internal clocks are
Just they're so messed up. So that helps.
That doesn't sound fun.
It's not.
God,
it's
Lance.
not good.
Oh, no.
But I'm 4 years into the no commitments
Okay.
part of my
So
life,
make it-
and so it has
Gotcha.
kind of stretched. So I missed the race, which ended up maybe being a good thing.
Probably, man.
I rode down there. The race I would have been in, there was like 6 or 8 different crashes.
Yeah, no.
And it was pretty narrow. It was kind of poorly attended for a championship race, and I think part of that was because people saw the course. I don't want to presume.
Well, the crit championship's on the same weekend as the road championship.
Well, the crit's on the Saturday and the road's on the Sunday. That's not a bad plan.
I mean, it's not a bad plan, but I don't know. But then you got people who want to choose one or the other to focus on.
Well, the road wasn't supposed to be then, but there was mess.
It was also really hot.
It was.
There was just a lot of factors. And this time of year, in August and late January or June, July, geez, Jake, come on now. There's a lot of people that are like doing family stuff, vacation stuff. They're gone, and like it's hard to like
that's the
build
tougher
up to
thing.
get ready for a race if you've got a million different things going on that summer. So
True.
It's not easy to schedule races. That's tough.
So
Was the road race well attended?
I don't know because it is 1:00 on Monday afternoon, and they have not posted results yet. Thank you, Oprah.
Oh boy.
So there's
That's
no
par for the
results.
course, though.
How do they not
posted
have live results yet? Doesn't everybody have live results now?
no, they don't do.
Gotcha.
It's
Oh,
they,
Oh,
they use
it's not
a
ship timed.
sundial and a
Yeah,
pencil and
it's not-
paper.
it's
So
not ship timed. Well,
Sundial.
So-
Very reliable.
Yeah.
All I can know is from what people have said on Strava, and there
Greg
weren't.
Steele had one heck of a weekend from what I was seeing.
He was in one of the crashes on Saturday.
Oh, he was in a and then came, but I was seeing Sunday he goes out and wins.
And
with
Sunday,
Stravadale.
he went out and win. Our teammate Chris Hannell was off the front for most of the race, but got wheeled back in.
Yeah.
And then Chris just.
No, Chris stayed on the podium though, didn't he?
Yeah,
stayed
he
for
was
third. That's what I thought.
third.
Yeah, because he only
Yeah.
got reeled in by a group of 2, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
I think Greg.
there was
and
3 people that brought him back in, and one of those guys ended up dropping on the last lap.
And then Hannell stayed with him.
Yeah.
I think they stayed with him, and I think Greg. I think they attacked again at some point and got away. I'm not even sure. So.
Yeah, knowing Chris, he probably put in a lot of effort. He's like, I'm not going to be able to hang with these guys, and I've got
And he
third.
can't sprint.
Well, that
Yeah.
was his match because he knows how strong Greg is
Yeah.
over a sprint. Yeah.
But it's still
Smart
it's
move,
still an
Stravadale.
uphill
Yeah.
finish. So, but if you've burned up all of your matches, just let it go.
It was also an extremely hot day. It was close to 100 degrees down there at the race day, and so that also kept many people away. It was
That
one
was
of
the ambient air temperature. They just put fresh chip seal down there on like more than half of the course, and so it's that dark
110,
slurry. So the
110,
heat
115,
coming off
yeah.
of that had to have been just astronomical.
Oh yeah.
that was
I
one
was
of
very
the,
aware on my run. It was getting hot on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the deciding factors for me not wanting to go do the race because I don't really do well in the heat anyway, and so I said I'm not. And if I lined up, I would be sacrificing myself for my teammates, which would be the point, but. I probably would have been right off the bat in the first lap.
How much am I sacrificing here? Yeah.
Well, coincidentally, I mean, me and Jake went out and rode for like 3 hours, like in the heat of the day, and we went easy. We did not ride hard, except with both.
Zone 2, yep.
We traded KOM attempts on one segment at different times, and we split the KOMs.
It's funny.
Anyway,
Lance came over and I had to resolve this tire issue I was having. He's like, all right, I'm going to go KOM hunting. I'm like, huh? Okay. All right. That's fine. And then he's telling me about it on the ride. He's like, yeah, you used to have the KO on this because it's a newer segment. And I'm like, okay, all right. And just kind of taking some mental notes here. And then on my way home after
I told him what my average was, what my average speed was. And so, of course, he went back and got it.
Nice.
Before the ride was over. It was perfect.
Makes sense.
It was good. But like what I was saying is like, we really went zone 2. We did not ride hard. And I drank a ton during the ride. Like I drank like 4 bottles during the ride.
Same.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah.
Plus, when you were messing with your tire, I drank a Gatorade while you were messing with your tire, and that was an hour into the ride.
Did you guys stop at gas stations to fill it? Where did you get all this stuff?
Well,
I know you're not carrying
I rode out to
four
meet
bottles.
We're riding out to Vancouver Lake.
Okay.
Jake's having tire trouble. We went to my house to fix his
Fill
tire.
up, and you filled up?
And I like pulled stuff out of the
Or
fridge.
just, I mean, the great thing about Vancouver Lake is you can either Vancouver Lake, fill up your bottles, or Frenchman's Bar. Those are like 5 miles
we went up
apart,
to
maybe
Frenchman's
4
Bar and
miles
filled
apart.
our bottles. Yes, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
I said, didn't go hard. I got home. I fought cramps all night.
Did you really?
Yes.
Wow.
Which I thought was odd
That's
because
probably accumulation of everything that you did during the week and just
it's possible.
electrolytes being off, or
It must have been because, I mean, so I was still having cramping issues. But,
When you said you had a big week.
and it was a big week. But it wasn't a whole lot of intensity. That's not true. I did a bunch of intense stuff.
I was having a talk with some of the people I coach about this, though. So remember that your body has to work significantly harder to cool you down when it's this hot, too. So if you're doing a 15-hour, even if it's not time intense, you're doing a 15-hour week along with that extra 10% of energy right there. That's where the cramping's coming from. It's actually just more muscular load than what your body, and your body has to actively work to cool down muscular active tissue. So it's like that takes a lot of energy. So the
and
cramping is
I'm
the
full
recovery
of
process.
muscles. Look at me.
You're strapped.
Even your mustache has
You are
muscles.
strapped. This is why I haven't had cramping issues, because I'm a stick. I have no muscles on me. I'd be the first to lose. I don't know. Me and Matt would be a good fight, actually. Who would win in a hot seat question? Never mind. Let me
Save
wait
that.
on that.
Save that one.
Let me save that one.
Save that one. Hot seat.
awesome.
That's enough for me, Jake.
Cool.
Back
Just
pedal.
pretty much everything that Lance talked about.
That's the problem with going last in the hot
The
seat.
flogging ride was a little different this week. They're doing road construction everywhere in
Oh, I
Clark
saw
County,
that
and
when
our
you guys-
route had 3 different spots
Just
where
reversed
they.
it, didn't you? Or?
Well, no, there's 3 different spots on the route that we normally use that were under construction and flaggers and all that other stuff, and the roads were beat up. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just do this. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and we did it once earlier when it was raining really bad because we wanted to stay a little bit closer to home. We did laps around Lacamas Lake.
Yeah.
Was that the old Vancouver hustle? Do you remember
No,
Dustin's route?
no,
okay.
just straight around
the
Lacamas Lake.
It's
So
a
it's dead around it. Gotcha.
9.1 miles. We did 3 laps, and it was actually pretty fun.
I used to do that lap all the time. That was my favorite lap.
It's nice. It's actually nice. It's just the fact that there's
No, it's a
traffic,
great lap.
there's
Yeah,
traffic on
there's-
the back now, that one spot. It's like
Yeah.
it's only
There's
like
a little bit of a bike lane there now, and it's
Mile or
not.
two.
But there is a segment or section there that's probably half mile, 3/4 of a mile before you get to Ledbetter.
Yeah.
Drop back down to the lake where there is no bike lane, and you just got to keep it single file there.
But you have Lake Road climb, and you have the climb up to the drop into Lacamas
Yep.
Lake.
Yep.
So there's a couple
That's
climbs
true.
every lap.
yeah, I can remember going up that thing. I'm sitting on Kieran Crossley's wheel, and I look down. I'm like, I'm sitting on your wheel. I'm in a full tuck, and I'm still putting out 375 watts to stay on your wheel.
Just to stay on this wheel.
Yeah, so we were going pretty
You
good.
were going.
Yeah, it was a fun
Kieran's
ride.
pretty fit right now. He's got some of his fitness.
Fun
back.
ride until I got a slit in the tire. But anyway,
you've had tire trouble all week, huh?
Yeah, I'm running new tires. I'm trying some new tires out.
So is it the
Are we allowed to say on the
new
podcast?
Vittoria?
No, it's the new Continental GPS 5000 TLs, STLs.
Doesn't sound good.
I thought those were supposed to be pretty durable.
That's what I thought too, and I've had these
Are we
on
getting
for
really bad
probably
luck, or-
month and a half, 2 months, and I've had multiple times where I've had to deal with them having a hard time sealing up or puncturing what feels like maybe a little too easy.
Yeah.
I'm going to put them on one more time and just run with it. And then I've got a whole separate set of the Pirellis that I want to run that I've been running for a while. And Lance and I have both been running the Pirellis for a long time.
This sounds like a good video.
Yeah. But
Pirelli
I
versus
just
Continental.
feel
Yeah.
like the
Something.
Pirellis, you might
Better.
sacrifice just a tiny bit of performance,
yeah.
speed, and the rolling resistance. But when you talk about puncture resistance,
Oh,
I'm going to take that sacrifice, knowing that it's for me. I'm not going out and being Evan in 40K time
Well,
trial.
but even I mean at the level we do it in pure TT World Triathlon is like Matt knows this too. Is I mean you can try to get as fast rolling resistance as you want, but if you do 5 races and you're going to flatten 2
Yeah.
of them, that's not worth it.
That's
I
not
mean,
worth it, so-
you're canning 2 of your races.
I think for triathlon, you should push it to the limit a little bit.
Yes.
You should,
I mean,
you
I'm-
should
yeah, I'm
sacrifice
trying-
puncture protection.
yeah.
What do you run? Conti 5000.
Yeah.
I think actually no. I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, I think it is too.
really
It's
good.
fast.
It's fast, but I still like the Pirellis too. But I
There's
don't know.
faster tires, but
We'll figure that out.
You
But-
slit your tire though, and
There
just
was
the
a slit.
wasn't really.
But
Side slits are dealing
I've
too.
also had several just punctures, and they just feel like they puncture a little bit
The
easier. And it
Vittorias
almost,
I used to have could handle some punctures. Those Vittorias really could.
Vittoria just came out with a new tire.
we should have
Like
about
a week ago or 2 weeks ago. something
2 dozen of them arriving today or tomorrow.
Okay.
We're
I'm
going to be testing
interested.
those. Yeah, they're supposed to be
interested.
pretty good, and there's a lot of stories behind
The
Vittoria
science.
possibly making tires for other people, like I don't know, other companies using them,
Yeah,
the white
but
label products. But anyway,
rebrand it,
they
yeah.
should be coming in
That's true.
soon, and we're going to test those
Well-
out. So that might actually be what it ends up on my bike.
Remember
We'll see.
Felt had their own Felt tire.
Yeah.
Wasn't that probably Vittoria or
Probably,
something?
yeah,
I mean,
'cause they had a really
this
work-
has been done for
close working
a while.
relationship with them. But
That makes sense.
yeah, so go to do that ride yesterday, and I ended up having to fuss around with that stupid tire for half an hour before we left. Thought I had it, didn't have it. Lance went over to his house, and so went over there and changed out the tire again. And Lance, you've got so many freaking rocks at your house.
What?
Yeah.
I'm
How many
super surprised.
How many tumblers do you have now? Or what are those things called?
Yeah, there's 3 rock tumblers going 24 hours a
And I
day.
walk in and it's just like whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like, what is going on in here?
I'm just trying to right now
I'm
gather all my
making-
hot seat questions, and this is making the list now. Too.
I'm not going to have to buy birthday or Christmas gifts for grandkids
I like
or
it.
kids for decades. I'm
planning
managing
to-
all my
I mean,
own
that's actually
He's got like a
Planning
whole
those
workbench
grandkids.
dedicated to
Yeah.
rocks. He's got a whole other
It's actually a
workbench
great
dedicated to
investment.
these tumblers.
It really is. That's smart.
He's got the nice little park tool, like mechanics bench outside
Oh
of his
my
house.
God,
He's
you
got a
are
bunch of rocks on it. His
such
whole
a
back
dork.
patio is like stacked up with rocks. He's got rocks all over
You
the
are
place.
such a dork.
You gotta look at the rock. There's
my
some
God.
cool stuff
Oh
there.
my God. This
Some
is a-
really cool stuff.
This is amazing.
So my wife bought these pair of earrings, at the same spot that I bought this hat, and it was the story behind the earrings are like
Is your wife surfing as well?
yes, and so she's big into like rock tumbling stuff, of course, because she's like a Lance wannabe, and
oh my God.
right?
This
So,
is so...
so this guy has this surfboard. He makes these custom surfboards, and what happens is they make the boards or whatever, and all the scraps that come off of the board can be like. It's like a lot of
Resin?
The resin that goes on I think they're carbon boards or whatever they are. I don't know. But the resin that goes on there comes off as they kind of like smooth it out, and they can rock tumble it and smooth it out and make jewelry out of it. And so she got some earrings. They look pretty cool.
From the tumbled
Rock tumbler.
I saw a YouTube video of a guy that makes surfboards from mushrooms.
Ooh.
Shut up.
Seriously.
Evan, shut up.
Seriously.
I feel like this could be a whole new surf
No,
podcast.
back to rocks.
Back to Orcas. So,
Back to Orcas.
Oh.
Yeah, I do have a rock problem, so suck it.
rock talk.
Yes, it's been rock talk. Thank you for what?
What's your favorite rock that you have right now?
Oh, I bet you have a favorite.
I have
What's
a couple,
your favorite?
I have a
No.
couple-
One. You have to say one. This is my hot seat question. I'm just advancing this because I don't want to forget it. What is your favorite rock?
I have a piece of petrified wood that is like half covered in crystals that was just an amazing piece to find and then cut and then polish. It's like a museum piece. It's not in the garage or on
will
the
you
deck.
give it to the
that's at
museum?
home. That's inside.
It's in the living room.
Oh, it gets
It's
in
got
the
the
house.
call
This
up
is
to
a
the big
house
leagues.
rock.
Call up to the house.
Take this TV down.
This is an
We're gonna
indoor
put the
rock.
Rock up on the mantle.
Good call. Good choice.
Anyway, that's the end of my back pedal. Let's move on.
What does it end the podcast at the end of talking about rocks, Wright Brothers, Orcas,
And mushroom
sweaty.
surfboards.
Mushroom surfboards.
Champ here. I'm
Oh.
all about having fun. Get a couple of cocktails.
All right, we got
in me.
Champ here.
What sports do we talk about on this podcast?
We're going to talk about cycling.
Occasional cycling discussions, mostly rock talk.
There really isn't anything to talk about. There's nothing.
You guys-
We're in that
you guys
dead
spent a
period
whole-
between the Tour and the Vuelta.
Yeah.
It's such
Yeah.
a dead period.
You spent a whole podcast talking about the women's tour.
we
but
did.
But Vos just had an interesting little.
Shut up. Wait.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead. Because is that your only news?
Wait, no. The phrase of the day is "Shut up, Evan." Shut up. Don't go there
Only news?
just yet. There's no
poetry
Come
and
on,
rock.
come on.
We'll get to
Gotta
that.
improvise.
There was triathlon stuff that happened too.
What happened in triathlon?
Sam Long won a race.
Did he really? I don't even
Wait,
know.
he's
What
been
happened?
he's been in Europe. right?
Yeah, he's been in Europe.
Yeah.
He's in Poland or something.
He was. So he just won
Okay.
a race in Poland.
I follow him on Strava.
and then there you go.
Good
Yeah.
for him. I'm glad he won
And
some
then
because
Ali Brownlee won a race in Swansea.
okay,
That was big news. He made it through the run and ran very fast. So
he needed a good one.
yes.
And Sam Long needed a
Of
good
the
one too.
two people
Sam
in the
has not
sport
had
that needed wins, it was those two guys.
I
Like those
100%
two guys
agree.
needed
Well,
wins.
I feel like Sam Long. I feel like he hasn't. He's been quiet.
He has been. He
well,
has been.
he did the
Imogen Simmons too won the women's race, I believe.
Okay.
In I forgot if that was Poland or Swansea. She won one of those races. Another person coming back from injury. So it was all kind of these people that are like
needed a win.
Needed a win. Yeah, they needed a win.
Good.
Harry Palmer, 6th place. I saw your triathlon channel.
Yeah,
He's no joke right now.
He's right.
He's fast.
He's doing really well.
There was a time where I was like, hey, if I raced Harry, I'd be like right
you'd
there
beat
with him. No, not now. He
Not
is
now.
faster than me.
He's gotten there.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, he's
He's
great.
a podium threat. That guy's fast.
Yeah, he seems like a good person.
Yeah,
Like
I hope he does well. all
me
the
too.
time. Yeah.
He's training for Wales. I think Ironman Wales.
Ironman full whales. Yeah.
I don't know when that is, but
I don't know either.
good luck.
They were there was the Commonwealth Games, and I think that happened
That's
in
true.
Wales,
Which had
right?
a lot
Did
of
it?
very exciting races in it, actually.
And I know none of the results because it wasn't
So
on Velvet.
Americans.
Alex Yee and Hayden Wild duked it out in the triathlon again. Those guys are the two.
Are they?
They are the cream of the crop
won?
in draft
Who won?
legal. Alex Yee won again.
I kind of like Alex Yee.
He's great.
Yeah,
Guy's fast.
he's a runner.
He's a very fast runner.
That's too bad for him.
I know, right?
He's a runner.
He's also
He
both of
probably-
them, but especially Hayden Wild. Did the New Zealand road race national championship
Yeah.
in like 2021, I think. Very good cyclist.
And
Like,
these are
they
triathletes
have to.
who
Yeah.
Hayden would get
They're-
picked up on a world tour team if he was to take a year and just focus on cycling. He is that strong on the bike. Guy is no joke. Yeah.
Wow.
And also does like Xterra stuff, so you can ride a mountain bike too.
Any other news?
No, that's just it. I mean,
Not a lot.
there's
Well, Voss.
I mean, yeah, Voss, but that's my hot seat. So shut up, Evan.
Never mind, I'm shutting up. Never mind. We won't even talk
I
about
want
that
opinions
result.
on that. We'll
Yeah,
get
because I was like, look at some of the road results. I'm like, God, man, I don't even recognize some of these names. I mean, it's like, it's just the guys that are in between. Like, all
So-
the Grand Tour guys are recovering right now, getting ready for the
or
Vuelta.
they're doing those like super high paying
Yeah.
crits,
Well,
like
aren't
fake
those
crits.
the fake crits? Yeah, those
where they
are the
get
ones
paid
that-
like $250,000
China.
to show up.
you
Dude,
seen-
you got to do those races for $250,000.
Oh heck yeah!
Heck yeah.
Well,
That was where
now
like
I think
Sagan, Froome, and like Valverde would end up in the same quote unquote breakaway
Yes.
during the crit.
Breakaway,
They're like,
and
oh,
then
let's see him
there's
sprint it
sprint.
out.
They're like predetermined fake
Yes.
crits across Europe. You go do those after you win the tour because
Yeah.
that's where you go.
you make some money. So those
Speaking
guys
of
do
getting
it.
paid
just
out,
cracks me up.
PTO Canada race. I don't know. That might not have been last.
Big money. I mean, like only 2 weeks ago, but yeah.
But that's where you got to go. If there's what was
Yeah.
it for winning? It was $100,000
Big
for triathletes.
middle finger to Ironman. It's like, yeah, go where the money's at. PTO
everyone.
races.
Everyone's not.
Everybody
gonna,
should
no one's
watch
turning
those.
that down.
Yeah,
That was big ticket money.
absolutely.
So the Vuelta is coming up,
Yes.
but Vingegaard and Pogačar are not doing the Vuelta. Roglic
fair.
is still a question mark, and Egan Bernal is still a question mark because they're both still
According to
recovering.
Evan Price,
Early
he's
pick
already
for the
won
win.
the tour.
Egan Bernal will edge out Chris Froome on the final time trial or
Final
something.
time trial.
Yeah.
I hope that those guys are safety first on the time trial.
If Bernal's out there in the Vuelta, how can you not cheer for that guy?
Sure.
Ah, you
Really?
want him to do
Oh,
good.
We got you, of
man,
course.
you want him to do good. Cool. But then also, if he does good, we get to say that I was right and
True.
that you guys weren't cheering for
That's
him.
true.
So let's be clear on that.
Shut up, Evan.
So let's be clear on this: is that if Bernal does well, you guys weren't cheering for him, and Evan was supporting him the whole time.
It was all Price. In fact,
All true.
he would probably call you out on
So-
his victory.
oh,
and it's like a thank you.
I was going to send
thank
him
you
a
to
message.
my fans. Thank you to
message
Evan
on his
Price.
Instagram and be like, "You're welcome, Egon."
You're welcome, buddy.
So is that not the kiss of death for him, Evan?
It is.
Poor guy. God, no, please. I'm
Egan
sorry,
Bernal's
Egon.
now going to downhill crash.
I'm
on
sorry,
some
Egon.
set.
Dang it.
I'm
Just
sorry, Egon.
Stay
Champ
healthy.
out. Moving on.
Bailey.
Yes.
Laying down what's hot.
So hot seat, boys.
So hot. You gotta listen naked.
Oh, that's a new one.
Hot seat.
Was that
sizzling
real
bacon.
audio? Is that real audio
Or
from
fake
this last
I
weekend?
like the smell
Yeah.
of bacon when I wake up. So I put this fryer next to my bed, and I first wake up.
Name that
I
reference.
first
Hold on.
wake up, put a couple of slices of bacon on there. I fry it up,
And then
go
what
back to
happened?
sleep, and I wake up. Well, happened to step on my
There you
George
go.
Foreman grill and burn my
Oh.
foot.
Yeah.
It's a
From The
serious
Office.
injury.
Now, what would you put a burned foot into? Bubble wrap.
wrap.
Yeah.
Is that from The Office?
It's The Office, okay?
It's a Very long Office reference.
Yes. If you got that Office reference, you win this podcast.
Yes, you do.
So the hot seat is back. The way that this works is we've all got a question that we're going to ask each other, and we have not asked or disclosed what our question is. So it's going to be hot. And you got
Except that
it
Evan
off the
didn't
cuff.
shut up, but
They already figured mine out because while you were dealing with
Come up with a
whatever
new
you were
one on the
dealing
spot.
with.
Let's go.
I've got one.
Okay.
Well, then go.
All right, I'm going. Okay,
You have to
so
explain the whole story too, please.
okay, my question is about Marianne Vos. Did you hear about what happened to her over the weekend?
I haven't, but this is good.
Puppy paws.
The puppy paws issue. So she did a race in Sweden, West Sweden, something like that.
Yeah.
She went off the front, solo attack, and during her breakaway, she took her hands off the handlebars and put her arms in the puppy paws position, where you rest your elbows on your handlebars and you dangle your hands down, right? This is an illegal position according to the UCI because it is unsafe. She did it for maybe 2 seconds before she realized, oh yeah, I'm not supposed to do that, and got back off the puppy paw position. Wins the race, gets disqualified.
So here's the thing.
She took it like such a champ, though.
Of course she did.
Such a class
she?
act.
She did.
She's a class
Pro.
act.
She said,
Because if that was any of us, I'd be like, "Are you
go
fill
F
in blank
yourself.
here?
Yeah.
Kidding me?"
the quote is, "It's a real pity, but that's how it is. When I was in that puppy paw position, I quickly realized that it was not allowed. I immediately switched to the correct position. Apparently, it was enough for the UCI to disqualify."
This is why she wins all the time. Do you know which a winner's mindset you have to be like, "Yeah, that's the rule."
You can't. She wins so much.
Yeah, that's true.
She dominates. Like, what is
she didn't care about
second?
that.
Like, I mean,
Yeah,
she's gonna finish in.
she's like, whatever.
She
I
had
don't-
like
yeah.
4 days in the yellow jersey in the Tour de
Right.
France
Yeah.
and won a couple stages of that.
Multiple
She
times
ended up
world champion.
second, right?
Yeah.
She's a multiple world champion
Yep.
in cyclocross, road
Is
race.
she an Olympic gold medalist too?
I don't know.
I would have to look up that one.
So
I just know
what's
world
the
champion.
question then? What's your question?
So
Should she have been
should the UCI should have disqualified her for a 3-second puppy paws violation, or was that Bush League?
Go, Jake.
Bush League. I mean, I think you kind of have to
I
take
just
an
like-
all or nothing approach,
No.
so that there's no question. But for 3 seconds, come on.
No, you have. That's why you have judges.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly like you can't have an all or. I don't think you can have an all or nothing approach because I think you say like, hey, this is why we have judges on course. She did it for a second, realized it, and that's why you're. It's like this is the judge's call.
Yeah.
And that judge, Bush League.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, if she did for like a minute, yeah. Or, but
My-
even if it was like,
My thing is the rule is Bush League. The ruling is correct. I know that sucks, but like the
Yeah,
ruling
see,
is correct.
there's the law and the spirit of the
Yes.
law, though.
Yeah,
so
Did she
the
gain an
law-
advantage by
the
3
law
seconds
needed to
of puppy paws?
specifically put that, like, okay, it's over a minute in this position or anything. Because if you just say touching that position, well, what if somebody's going and grabbing a bottle and puts their hand there? Is that technically that position? I mean, like, you know, there's so much gray area in that. I think the law is stupid. You're a professional road cyclist. All of them can handle that position.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
it is dangerous, but it's their choice to get in that position. If there's a crash involved, cool. That's just what happens.
So that's my next question. Has there been a crash from somebody off the front
I
in
don't
the
think
puppy
so.
paws position?
Yeah, solo,
who has,
definitely not.
You know, who has crashed because they're in that position?
I ride that position. And I am not an elite bike handler by any means.
That is very true.
to answer your question,
Proven by a
probably
weekend
not.
or two ago.
Not that I know of. Probably not. Maybe, but it's probably the person that sees that and wants to emulate it and wants to do it out there on the road
So it-
themselves, and then they lose control because they hit something on the road. They don't have their hands to correct the bars. I mean,
I think also too, UCI's looking back in the past and remembering in the 80s when they were allowing short aero bars on the road bikes, and there were tons of crashes in the peloton because of guys in those positions. That's probably what
hands
they're
off the brakes.
remembering. I think that's why when people started going to the puppy paws position, or you started seeing the lengthened base bar too. You know how there was the guy in the Tour, was it 2020? Was it Mohoric? I think that almost got suspended because they had a new handlebar and it kind of allowed him to like get into that position.
Yes, yeah.
And they made that illegal. Remember, it was like after that race,
illegal.
They saw it, they're like, yep, that's illegal, no more. But I think that they're remembering back to that, and they're like, yeah, we can't allow that to come back in the peloton.
there's too much nannying going on
It
from
is.
the UCI.
It
It's
is.
a little bit ridiculous. I mean, even
Yeah,
like the Super
gets
Tuck,
old.
they shouldn't have taken that away.
No.
Granted,
It's your
I think
choice
that we're
if
going
you
to
wanna-
see
yeah.
things change with respect to bikes having droppers. We've had this conversation
Yeah.
on here before, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the rule to begin with is dumb, and the fact that they penalized her with relegating her from the race because
And
she
it-
did it for 2 seconds,
And
3
it
seconds.
does come down to the ref's decision in the moment sometimes is just crap. You know, I mean, you just have a ref that just makes a crap decision. I mean,
you did soccer. There's bad
Oh
calls.
yeah. There's bad calls. We were just having this talk. Sorry to take this away, but going into bad call, there was in Boulder 73 this last weekend, a guy who I've raced for years named Trip Hipple, who is awesome. Giving a big shout out on here. Guy I've raced for a long time and just slowly, like little percentile increase through the pro field. Caught the front pack. Put in an amazing bike in Boulder. I mean, like, guy's insanely strong right now. Amazing bike. Catches the front group. He's going straight by them. The ref watches him pull up behind. Matt knows this rule, like that you can't enter the draft zone and come through. So this front pack has been on video drafting the entire time. The ref doesn't want to give a penalty this entire time. Trip comes into that group, comes around and goes straight by them and gets a penalty for entering the draft zone. He literally bridges the entire field, and the ref decides instead of giving the penalty to the people who are drafting in the front pack, he gives it to the guy who just worked his butt off for 20 minutes to make it there. So it's like sometimes it's just the spirit of the law. Like, yes, did Trip enter the draft zone? Sure,
Probably,
for like a second. But yeah.
Come on.
I know, right?
I just want to see the people, like the judges, know what they're talking about and know what
That's
they're
I think
doing.
the main problem too.
And then also,
what's the quality of these referees? We don't know.
We
Like
have no idea.
nobody knows.
They're just like, oh, this
Were
is
any of those UCI referees former professional cyclists? Probably not.
I don't know.
Don't know.
Who knows?
There is a clip of it. She actually wasn't on a breakaway. She was
in a group.
She was in a group of 3, and she was pulling
That's a
around.
small group.
That's it. That's like
oh
2
my
seconds.
gosh, that was it.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
This is what I would do. I would have
What a
like
champ,
just like
though.
she's doing.
Hey,
Like I would
that's
talk
just-
I'd talk to the referee afterwards and be like, "Sorry, this is what this situation was."
Mm-hmm.
The other thing they could have done is they could have, because if it's a referee call, I think that they can just be like, you can get a financial penalty or a time penalty or
Right.
all these things, not DQ'd from the
not
entire
DQ'd
race.
from the race.
Yeah, maybe like a second penalty for every second you're on there in that
Yeah.
position. But
Well,
if you
I
go over a certain amount of seconds, then
You're
you're
done. So
relegated. Yeah.
But let's say they took 5 seconds away from her, she would have won that race anyway.
Yeah.
Actually,
think
solo
so.
broke away to 1, didn't she?
I don't know.
We have to look at the numbers, but
I don't know if she solo broke
Yeah,
away.
you should ask UCI to come up with
Or
a
if it was a
fractional
sprint.
difference in aero advantages
Well,
over that.
I mean, if that was the case, they should have DQ'd her on the spot.
Yes.
And pulled her from the race because her being there changed.
Well, yeah,
the
because
race.
then that group stays away
That's
because
true.
she's doing all
Yeah.
the work. Yeah.
So what's everybody else's response? Is it unanimous?
The
The
answer is
ruling is
Bush League.
correct.
Bush
the
League.
rule is bad, and the ref is Bush League.
We all agree except Evan.
because I
Yeah,
think
because I needed to disagree.
it's fun to say
'Cause we all-
Bush. It's fun to say Bush
we,
League.
we all could not be in agreement for this.
So the judge doesn't have any autonomy to kind of make a subjective call?
I think the
This
judge.
isn't the NFL. No. Yeah. They're not that smart.
Interesting.
I think the judge. I think you have to trust the judges to make the right call. In this case, that was not what happened. That's my take. So
Yep.
Evan Price,
Okay.
get
Hot
hot.
seat. What is everybody's next race?
that was like one of my questions
Was
too.
it? Yeah.
The reason I wanted to
I like
ask
starting
it.
with that
The
one
reason
before I
I
go
wanted
to
to
the
ask
hard
it
ones,
was because I didn't want to answer that one.
We're going to Mr. LeGrand first. You have to have an answer for this.
That's hot. That's hot.
That's hot. That's hot.
That's hot.
It's really hot.
Matt's smoking over here right now.
I could.
It's
I
got
would love to do
swamp again.
swamp. Has Columbia River Try already happened? I would love to do that
That is
race.
this
Coming-
weekend.
This
Coming
weekend.
That
yeah.
is this weekend.
Maybe I could try. I don't know. Like I could just walk.
That sounds like a firm yes to me.
Okay.
Woo, Matt
I could-
LeGrand will be there.
Matt LeGrand.
I could.
Columbia River Try.
At the
Here's the
Sunday
thing.
Girlfriends try.
I probably have to walk the 5K, but it's only 5K. Walk, jog it.
Yeah, just walk jog.
Is there anything he could do to kind of like give him an advantage or some sort of
Viagra.
like device? Viagra. Get that leg nice. I'm just never mind. I'm not going to go there.
Very aero position.
But what is there anything that could help him get through this run and be able to run it? Is there like any kind of like supportive device that we can like?
Oh, you mean like
a
dope
wheelchair.
Matt up a
A
ton
knee
before this?
scooter.
Yeah.
Needs like the
Go in
Blade
a
Runner
boot
kind
and
of thing.
a
on your leg. Put your
skateboard.
boot back on.
There is a video of me floating around online of the knee with the knee scooter.
We could skateboard it.
We could skateboard.
I have a
it.
skateboard for you.
Scooter.
So does Ethan.
Skateboard.
Yeah.
I could borrow Ethan's skateboard. He's not using it. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I could just walk, jog it. Are you
I'll be
gonna
there.
be out there? This?
Yep.
You gonna race?
I'm only going to be. Maddie has like a relay or two that still needs some holes to fill, so I think I'll just be jumping into relays. And
Are you
then
going
long run
to
after.
be out there changing tires and pumping up tires for people that need to be topped off to top it off to 125?
I don't. We will have a team person out there from
Someone-
the staff here. I'm not sure if it's going to be me yet or not. I'm going to give the young bucks the opportunity to go out there.
My derail is making this clicking noise when I get into my smallest gear and my big ring, and then try to shift all the way back up. Yeah.
Boy.
Yes, it does.
Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Both days. It's
Probably
the
better.
Columbia on Saturday and the girlfriends, on Sunday.
Okay.
yeah.
So
Oh shoot, I can't do it. My wife's going out of town this weekend. I'm on kid patrol.
Bring him with you.
She's going to watch the Dixie Chicks. She's like flying with some friends. It's such a weird trip for her to take.
She
And
must
she's
have
bringing
Dixie
kids.
hang out with
Chicks?
her friends.
That's
She must have hang
awesome.
out with her
I know,
friends. Yeah.
She's gonna go. Hang
Where's
with
it
her
at?
friends. I don't know. She doesn't even know. She's like, we're just going. I don't know where we're going. I mean, she has to know where she's flying, right? I don't know.
You would think so.
I can't remember. I don't know where it is either. I literally have no idea.
This is how
know
it starts.
more than that.
This is how it starts.
don't know.
2 weeks from now, I'll be like, Chris hasn't come back. This is so weird.
I'm wondering if I can like
2 weeks in North Carolina was too much.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd think it would be like
Have you guys seen Kristen?
it's not on like the family calendar or anything like that. Like, I don't know where she's going.
She's gone, man. I'm sorry.
Kristen out.
There's probably a Dixie Chicks song about what she's doing, which is just
Earl.
leaving.
Yeah.
She's gonna leaving. She's like, I'm taking inspiration.
Goodbye, Earl.
Goodbye, Earl.
That the one where she kills the dude or
Yeah,
something like that
they
and buries
kill
him,
him.
put him in the
That's
black.
where they kill the
Everybody
kill the
keep
guy.
tabs on Matt
poison
this
in
next
his
week,
black
please.
Be careful.
Maybe you should come to the race Saturday with the kid just so we can keep eyes on you.
Safety.
So yeah.
Well, I would love to come to that race and at least like bring camera stuff and film some stuff or
Bring
whatever.
the kids. They can hang out with me at the tent. We have the Evolution tent there. They can hang out there.
It'll be fun.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm racing tomorrow.
Booyah.
Oh, short track.
Short
yeah.
track. It'll be the last race of the series.
Yeah.
Have they put that up on?
Yes, it went up yesterday. I registered this morning, so I am also doing short track tomorrow.
I need to do that today at some point in time. They didn't have the registration up for the longest time for us to be able to register for that race.
Nice. Price, what about you?
I will probably be jumping into a relay this
Doing
weekend
those
as either the
relays.
runner.
And then the next big one, of course, is Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz, then Augusta after that.
Are you doing Augusta?
Yep. So I'll be 2 races in 3 weeks there.
Well, that's cool.
Yep.
Wow.
For your information, the Dixie Chicks are playing at the Gorge
Oh,
There
that's
you
a
go.
Theater.
That's a good one.
That's like a 4-hour drive from here, so she's not flying. That's why you don't know.
This weekend?
Road
You
trip.
sure? You
This
sure?
Saturday, the 13th, the Dixie Chicks are playing at the Gorge.
He knows that off the top of his head, too. He did not have to look that
this-
up.
Don't worry.
This
Yeah,
Tuesday,
I'm glad a true fan is here.
Tuesday and
Opening act,
Wednesday,
Lance Hepler.
they're playing in Bend. Tuesday and Thursday.
That's cool.
yeah, or Tuesday and Wednesday.
Crazy.
How old are the Dixie Chicks?
They're probably in their 50s.
40s or 50s, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it
They were.
Natalie Maines, the singer? She's got to be probably close to my
They're
age.
called the Chicks now.
I
by
know
the
they
way.
are. And they're super
Do you
political.
think-
Yeah,
They're super political.
They've always been,
They've
they-
got kicked out of country.
yeah.
Do you think
Not
that
allowed.
they
They
like?
have to hang out in Oregon.
Do you think at some point you get bored of playing your own songs? Like, did the
I
Rolling Stones
wonder
ever
if-
get bored of
Yes.
like?
I think
they
so.
have to.
I think absolutely they do.
the Rolling Stones
but
were like what 50 years of touring. Like at some point they'd be like, oh my god.
So good to see you, Dayton, Ohio.
Yes.
Oh wait, we're not in Dayton.
This is Atlanta.
Where are
oh,
we?
thank God. I hated that place.
I make that mistake all the time.
Yeah.
You ever seen the Stones live?
What's the next
I
song?
bet this-
no,
I bet they're
I
so
have
good.
not.
They're legit.
Are they?
I bet.
Oh, they're really good, yeah.
Okay.
So
I would maybe see this. I mean, yeah.
but no more.
Yeah, that's right. They're
Charlie
not-
Watts died, the drummer.
well,
Oh, just
I thought that they. I thought they officially.
drag somebody else in to play the drums for that.
I felt like they had like their one last year tour
Yeah.
like a couple years back.
Yeah.
Lance, you're racing tomorrow.
I'm racing tomorrow.
Okay, so everybody's answered the question.
So everybody's kind of racing this week.
Yeah.
If Matt shows up on Saturday, that counts as all of us racing in the same week. It's probably been a while since that
I
happened.
don't know if I'll really be able to race, but
Don't worry,
sure.
I can babysit the kids. I'm very responsible, Matt. You know this.
3 kids.
I
That's
got
a
it. Don't worry.
big jump up from no kids.
Me and Dash have got this. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's true. Dash will be in charge.
Yeah, that's true. Dash,
Matt, hit us
Dash,
with a
watch
hot
out for
seat
your brothers.
question.
All right. Well, my question was going to be like, I could say like, what's your next big race? Because you guys kind of threw out some races that you're doing that are upcoming. So if you have like, because you were talking about mountain
A
biking
race.
races on like the,
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you guys go anywhere with that discussion on the whatever multiple bike race thing?
Ah, you're
Like-
getting into my question.
Oh, okay.
Don't
All
do
right,
it.
all right.
Don't.
So I'm stepping
don't
on
go there.
multiple. My questions are all taken.
That's his.
Be original.
Marianne Vos. What would you get someone who's into cycling for their birthday?
Oof.
All right. Let's start with Lance.
What's my
go,
budget?
Lance.
New
It's just-
tires.
It's a birthday gift. I mean, if you're buying it for, Evan, yeah, you go big. You spend
Yeah.
a lot of
Go-
money.
go
But if
big,
you're
yeah.
buying for something for Lance, then
Get him a
you
rock.
kind of skimp.
buy 'em
Skimp a little bit.
Trailer hanger.
I got a trailer hanger on the table at
that's
the moment.
nice. That's nice.
I actually do think right now tires would be a good gift. I agree.
you think?
Yes.
Tires.
Like, if you're shopping for David Goodman for his birthday, you would be like, I got you some tires. I love you, bro.
Yeah, I would actually.
That's
and
a
it would
weird
be like
gift.
like a good tubeless pair that like he would probably be wanting
He would
to do
appreciate it.
next. Yeah.
Or a little like zipper pouch, like from
Totally.
yeah.
Like a little,
little like your own little flat kit thing.
Yeah, because you don't want to get like anything nutrition based or anything like that, because everybody's got their
People's
kind of
got their own
specificity.
thing,
You don't want
yeah.
to get somebody like a bike computer because you don't know, like, hey, they really like their bike computer right now.
Yeah,
They might
that's
not want to be
true.
switching. Yeah.
Plus, those are spendy gifts.
Yeah.
That's
But
true. You don't want
yeah.
to spend $400 on someone.
Forget that.
I mean, Lance.
I got rocks for you. I got a polished rock.
There was a trick
Listen,
question. You failed it
I
because you were
did.
supposed
I
to
said
answer rocks. You have to
I'll
answer
give
rocks.
you, I'll give you two
a cut
petrified
and
pieces
polished
of wood.
rock.
What kind of bike gift would you give someone?
Rocks.
Yeah.
Rocks. The answer is always rocks. Gifts. Rocks.
Rock Thompson. Rock Tom. Is that a Rolling
be
Stone
right
song?
Jake made that this morning, didn't you?
Was it this morning?
Maybe.
He made that.
knew.
I had rocks for you guys, and I left them in the van.
Do you realize how amazingly full circle this
there any
podcast
fan?
comes? We all of a sudden start talking about Rolling Stones right after you talked about the little tumbler thing with the rocks in there.
lot of
It's
rock.
Rolling Stones.
It's Rolling Stones.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Me and Charlie Watts.
Dude, I hope we all learned something today.
A good gift. I might get somebody a pair of sunglasses.
Ooh,
Everybody
that's
always,
a good one.
you can always use multiple pairs of
You can
sunglasses.
always use them.
Or like a good pair of cycling gloves, because you think about the things that either get lost, broken, or worn out. Most
Yeah.
frequently, it's like
Coming
cycling
from someone
gloves.
who doesn't wear cycling gloves.
Well,
I know. Well, that's because I'm a true cyclist. True cyclists don't wear cycling
Now that you're a
gloves.
mountain biker, though,
I've convinced myself.
maybe.
I am not a mountain biker.
How about we just add on to Matt's question there? It's your birthday, and you know
Oh,
that
what
you're
do
going to
you
get
want?
some
What would you want?
cycling related gear,
Yeah.
things, whatever. What would you want?
I actually like jerseys. I'm a big fan of just like
Oh, yeah.
gathered
Jerseys are cool.
Yeah.
Jerseys are nice. Yeah.
Like fun jersey, like a fun ride jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Matt?
I think some sort of like retro cycling kit would be hilarious.
there you
That'd
go.
be fun.
Yep.
Or
Give me something postal.
Yeah, postal. I think that I don't know. I have a lot of cycling stuff just because
Get
I don't
all
feel
the
like
things.
I got all the things. If someone doesn't have a radar, man, hook
What
'em
about
up.
a cycling?
Hook people
So
up.
me and John Hoffman trade these all the time. What about a cycling book?
Ooh,
That's
a good one.
Book
Yeah.
is a great one.
Yep.
Talk about the most underappreciated cycling historian in our community, John Hoffman. He has
Yes.
quite a guy. Actually,
know,
still need to give. John's probably listening to this right now.
he-
I have like 5 books I need to give back to John.
We should have him on
I
the
stole 5 of it.
He would be a good person to have on the podcast.
Oh, I would love. He always tells me, he's like, no, I'm too boring. I wouldn't go on there. I was like, John, if we just sat here and talked old
History,
Tour de France stuff,
so
he'd be the
much
most
fun.
interesting podcast we had. Yeah.
You know, like a chain lube that's a decent chain lube. I think would be really cool. If that's like
That's a good
if someone
one.
gave me that, I'd be like, this is cool. I like that.
Like a good wax chain loop.
yeah.
I think like an assorted nutrition pack from like
You would
the
want that?
feed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That'd be
from
cool.
the
Like,
feed.
like they
yeah.
make like a sort with like 10 different types of things,
And
so
they
you
give
can
you a
try
free water bottle with that.
You can try
With
out
your
different
name on it.
things.
Yeah,
Oh,
I love
yeah.
water bottles are the
Water
thing that I
bottles are
realize I
good.
lose all the time. And also during races, I'll just chuck them out into trash zones, which I know sounds so bad, but that's like,
Yeah.
if I need to grab a bottle
that's what I
and
do
I'm
too.
stuffed
I'm
up
like,
on there, just toss it.
This
yeah.
is for certain like Ironman races, and this is other
And you
water
know it's
bottles for
getting
certain
tossed.
things. And I'm
Yeah.
like, these are going to be gone, and
Yep.
then and I kind of, depending on the weight of the race itself, I'm like, okay, this one,
Yeah.
this is an Ironman one.
You're
This
like,
one over here,
how much
why
do I
racing?
like this
it's
water
gotta
bottle?
be
Yeah.
tossed to this, and then anyway, but you end up being like swapped out for others, so it ends up being a wash. But you always get something that's crappy when you get back.
Yeah, so that's like
So-
one of your more usable gifts.
Yeah.
That's a
Definitely.
good one.
You
That's
know
a
that
good
one's
one.
getting
I want to
cycled
make some water bottles for my YouTube channel.
Should.
That'd be fun.
Sweet. Do it.
Triathlon related.
There you go.
Definitely get some.
Cool. We ready for my question?
Yep.
Ready.
Yep.
All right. You're a promoter. You have to come up with a race. You got to
Oh.
be able to attract people. What is something unique that you would bring to the race community?
Swimming, running.
No.
And then finish with the bike. I
Once
would
again.
seriously here. I would bring a couple worlds together. Okay.
That's gonna be
So
awesome.
hear me out here. Cycling and triathlon need each other for lifeblood right now. There are, I think we do. There are a dwindling
Triathlon.
amount of people who do endurance sports, and we need to really get more people interested in doing it together. So
Mud runs,
you have Spartan race,
sparklers. Add sparklers to anything, and color runs.
color runs. Yeah. So,
color runs. Yes.
I actually have a funny color run story.
Oh,
but
boy.
anyway, so I would do a time trial on one day, I would do a crit race and a draft legal race on the same day.
That's
on
called
the
an
same
omnium.
small course. No, draft legal race because you need to have this close to a water source, okay?
Ooh.
I actually do have in my head where something like this would actually be possible. Not a short crit course. It would probably need to be like a 2-3 mile loop. We're talking a little bit bigger loop.
Or like
so
a
you have
circuit
your
race then?
time trial that day. And then that next day you have a draft legal race and a road race. Let's say a short circuit road race, basically. Okay. Then the day after that, so you go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you do like an Xterra style race. There are places in the Pacific Northwest where within one facility, this would be pretty reasonable. Yes.
Maybe Hag Lake.
Hag Lake. You could even think Horseshoe is actually not a bad location either.
Actually, yeah.
Even Vancouver Lake or Columbia side, Frenchman's or Vancouver, that could be possible.
How's this going to attract cyclists to come out to your race?
Because I just created an Omnium. How many Omniums do we have around here?
Lance, are you doing that race?
No.
That's a yes.
The question is,
I'm not
would you not do
swimming.
it just because?
What?
No. The bike race is going
Okay.
on the same day. It's simultaneous.
I got
We
an
need
idea.
to bring a draft
I've
legal
got an
race
idea that
actually
could-
to this
I think
region.
that this could actually make this idea work, and that is one of those like bike things that go on top of the water. You know what I'm talking
there
about?
you go.
That
Yeah.
would be super hilarious if that was like part of the race.
Yeah,
That fall over easily.
Well, I don't know about the falling
That would
over.
be
but
funnier.
we actually
it
did.
would be funnier. But like, can you
But
imagine
yes.
like if that was part of the race? How funny would that be? Be like,
to-
yeah,
you
you have to
get on
cross
this
this
thing
lake,
and
and then you
cross
get on
this
your
lake.
next bike.
Do you guys watch Park and Recs?
Bike
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Parks and
yeah, I
Rec.
love Parks
You,
and Rec.
you know the guy who like I forget his name, but just comes up with ideas and they're always like trash ideas, but he's always like super excited about them. The young guy,
Yeah.
yeah, the like kind of goofy tall white guy in it. Anyway,
There's a couple.
That's me with these ideas. But here we go. Next one. In Ohio, we had a canoe bike race. So it was you canoed.
Yes.
And then you got out and you did a team time trial with who was in your canoe. That was the most fun I had in a race
that
ever
is
around.
cool.
So there is something called the pole pedal paddle,
Which stands in
Pole
Bend.
pedal.
Bend.
There you
That's
go.
a big
Yeah.
where you ride
Skis.
skis.
Well, we probably have to take out the skis here.
It's downhill skis, cross country skiing.
Yeah, downhill skis, cross country skis, mountain biking, road biking, and kayaking.
See, that's too much. That's what we need.
Something
we
like
need,
that.
We need
Very
to simplify
specific.
that.
Do you remember,
We need to simplify that.
Do you remember like Jesse Thomas?
Yeah, yeah.
I think he won that this past year.
That
the
doesn't
pole pedal
surprise me.
paddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been like
He's just
really
a
into
good
that stuff.
athlete at
well,
all
yeah,
things.
he's
Yeah.
definitely solid.
But yeah, that's the other one is canoe, bike, and then you can make basically there's a canoe bike division. Then back in Ohio, we did a canoe bike and then a run after that too. But it had to be team based everything. So it was your last finisher was your time.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think we need to have some sort of instead of how they have those like run swim run things.
Yeah.
It should be like that, but with biking, and you have to use this weird bike paddle thing that you go across the water on. Oh man, that would make a killing. People would be on that.
Yeah.
I don't know where you could get that many of those.
I was about
bike
to say,
paddle
I'm
things.
sure that
They
those
don't
aren't
even
cheap.
You have,
exist.
you have to stay in line. You have to get in line.
We have two.
for
We
the
have
people
two.
who
We
have
have
them.
two
You
of
do
these.
not want to get like be second or third. You want to go all out to get to the start of that
We
one.
only have two of these. We gotta share them.
Those don't exist.
Go,
There's
Lance.
not that many of those that
What's
exist.
your bright idea, Lance? Let's hear this.
I don't have a bright idea.
Man, come on.
I think the harder the course, the better. So it's something.
Hills?
No, not hills.
I got
Hard
one
for you.
Hard, like
I got an idea.
technical.
Just go to 9,000 feet and do a mountain bike single track for 8 hours, 10 hours. There you go.
No, that doesn't sound fun either. We had this, the best of both worlds.
That's where my question kind of came from because Evan's like, I want to do best of both. Cassie and I watched
Yeah.
the Vegan Cyclist video, and I've watched half of it. It's well put
Yeah.
together. But my question to Evan
That was bad. Yeah.
was, are they doing it next year?
Um,
I thought that I heard.
I think he said he was not. This was his final year. He's
Yeah.
not doing it again.
That sucks. I
Yeah.
hope
And
somebody takes that
And
out.
they only did it like 3 times.
Yeah.
Twice, 2 or 3 times. He only did it a few times. It was a promoter I wasn't familiar with, so I
Yeah.
think this was the only race he did, and I don't know why he is not continuing it.
You have to imagine somebody's going to pick it up from him because I mean,
It was a cool concept. So
well
there
received
was
idea.
It was a gravel section, a road section, and a mountain bike section. And you had the choice to do 3 different bikes and have a transition zone, or use the same bike and do all 3.
Oh, that was
How
awesome.
would you do
Somebody
it,
was
Jake?
doing
How
the
would you
same
do
bike.
it? What would you do? Like time trial?
That mountain bike section
road.
looked tough to do on a gravel bike.
If I were to go do it, I've got all
three.
3 bikes. I'd probably take all 3 bikes and have them set up in transition. But they also have different categories. There's that category, or there's a category where you just race against people who are using just one bike, or you can do it in a team format too, where you've got different people that do different parts of the race. I mean,
If you
I
were
did
a
it 2
race
years
director,
ago.
if you were a race director and you were doing this out at Vancouver Lake or something, I don't know where this would.
It was
be
in
feasible.
Bend.
Bend,
Well, this was in Bend. If you were personally putting on the race, how would you set it up?
here in the Pacific Northwest.
How would you do it?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, like here in our area, Vancouver, Portland. You know, if you'd want to do it at Hag Lake, that's fine. But I think you could do it.
Mountain biking.
You need a gravel section.
You need a gravel section.
Yeah, I mean, you could. It just, I don't know. It depends. I mean, we've got a pretty diverse area here. You've got like road stuff that you can do out in Washougal. You've got all the gravel stuff
out around Larch.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's plenty of gravel riding out there.
Yeah,
and then
could you do it really simple and have it go out like the standard like dike trail? Is that just not enough gravel?
It's not enough gravel.
Yeah,
you need it to be longer,
and it's flat too. So I don't know. I think that if we did something out there towards Larch with the gravel, there's always the Tarbell Trail system up there, which is what, a 24-mile loop.
It is,
and then
it's with lots of climbing and very hard.
Very hard.
You know, if you could do something where you start with the Tarbell Trail system on the mountain, and then you jump off and you transition into your gravel bike, and then you would have to probably ride your gravel bike a little bit onto the road, but you could transition and maybe ride out to Vancouver Lake and finish out there.
You know the guy that would want to help you with this? Bill Gritsky.
Probably.
He is like obsessed with this idea.
Yeah.
I bet you if you're like, hey, you want to partner up on race directing this thing, he'll be like, let's do it. He'll have like a plan and a route and everything figured out.
Yeah. I've had this kind of idea
for
probably 10, 15 years of something that I wanted to do. And I kind of likened it to the whole, like the gumball rallies that you've seen before, or the old cannonball run, kind of keeping it a little bit unsanctioned. And just like you've got to get from point A to point B. And like it might be faster to ride a gravel bike over this section than it would be to take a road bike and go around a mountain, kind of a thing. So you just kind of pick and choose your route and choose your own adventure. But I know that that's tough. You can't support that. Insurances aren't going to let it fly. I don't know if people would want to do that. But
do you think subtly too? I was just talking about something about this, or just because there's been a couple stories involved around this. I mean, we are a sue happy culture. Obviously, are race directors usually being scared off more by the off situation that something bad might happen, just with the cost of insurances, with the risk of that?
No, they're generally scared off just the cost to put on the race and the fear that you're not going to get people to sign up. Gotcha. I mean, there's so many municipalities out there that are charging so much money for
that's what's ridiculous.
And the worst part about it right now is probably flaggers. Like if you have a course where you need to have multiple flaggers out there all day long, and they're saying that you must have a certified flagger, they're costing $45 an hour per flagger. And if you've got like 10 flaggers out there and they're going to be out there for 5 or 6 hours, that becomes cost prohibitive. You just can't do it.
Jeez.
It's ridiculous.
You know, I'm looking at this race promoter's website for the best of both, and he lists a June 2023 date.
Okay, well, maybe he is going to do it. That's fantastic.
The website is updated with the Vegan Cyclist.
I wonder if that inspired him to do it next year.
So maybe
because he knew he was going to get a lot of pull from Vegan's channel.
Well, he's got several 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, VC's no joke. That guy is.
And Kerry Werner actually did the single steed race, and he put up a YouTube.
I already
video
said
as well.
Heather Jackson was there too. So I mean, you're talking. There were big names there.
Yeah.
Well,
Purple Nipper was there too.
He was exactly. That poor kid's going to be. Oh, I'm sure he. I hope everybody who rides with him is making fun of him incessantly this next week.
Purple Nipple.
I did do it 2 years ago and won.
Congratulations.
So shut up, Evan.
There you go.
Shut up, Evan.
Now, do we think he would have beaten Vegan Cyclists this year?
Or
maybe
crushed? Would have crushed him.
I would not have.
2 years ago, you would have crushed him.
I only won the 50 age group.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this is something that's kind of established. I mean, I don't know how many other promoters are putting something on like that. That's creative thinking. That's the kind of thinking that we need to get more people excited about that. What is something different, kind of off the wall? I mean, would you show up to a race where, maybe we're doing like time trialing around Lacamas Lake, and then we're going to go out there and do some laps for mountain bike, and then you got to get on your stand-up paddleboard. You got to go from point A to point B, and then finish, whatever. I mean, would you be open to the idea of adding a new something or other just to kind of make it a little bit different?
Oh, yeah. I try to choose 1 or 2 things a year that I'm going to do that are not me sitting in the time trial position and racing the dudes I race all year. I need like 1 or 2 escapes from that.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, absolutely. If there was some awesome that came around like that, I would 100% jump on something like that. Yeah. This year, that race for me was Telluride. Was going out and doing something well outside of my comfort zone. So
now there's also like 12 and 24-hour mountain bike races. Do they do that on road at all? Like where you've got just a big circuit and just go and you can maybe have a team or do different things like that? Is there a reason why we don't see more of that around here? Or is that something that you would show up to?
I would not, only because I now after doing an Everesting realize how absolutely brutal that is. Just like on your body.
Well,
for
that's
the next
just
couple
dumb
weeks.
doing an Everesting. But I'm talking about
it is.
But what if it was?
But if it was like a relay format, I would consider
they
it.
do race across America and race across Oregon and race across Washington. They do have these long races that you can do as a team. Where you swap.
But that's hard because you're going
20-minute poles or
a long ways. I mean, Oregon, you're covering a lot of miles. Like what, 425 miles?
I think race across Oregon was like something
and
around
then
500 miles.
not everybody can race across America. That's just a long ass time. I mean, you're a couple weeks into that thing probably.
It's like 8 or 9 days. I think
the record's like 7 days.
Well, that's like
change,
the fast
which is
people.
Insane. Yeah. 7 days. Oh my god.
I don't know. I just think that if
I think more approaching it from the angle like you're talking about like digestible distances for everybody, like
right around
like
Clark
a 15-mile
right across Camas.
Yeah,
I mean something big,
like 15-mile mountain bike, a 40K road bike, and a 20-mile gravel bike is like digestible for everybody.
Yeah.
I think the reason that you see like the 12 and 24 stuff, those usually are like I know some of the Midwest cities that'll put those on, and it's like they've been around for a long time, but really it's not like there's that much participation in those, just because it's
small numbers.
I mean, it's like how many people can sit there and ride their bike for 24 hours? That's not a big group of people.
Gravel time trialing is that a thing that could be a thing? I mean, you know that you do them in some stage races, but I mean, why can't we have something like that where you're not having to deal with the municipalities where you have to go out there and have people blocking off roads and whatnot? Or I've seen the dirt-ish velodrome kind of thing where they're a lot of places just don't have a track anymore, but they're going out and setting up races in like dirt fields that are maybe the size of like a high school track or something like that. And they're banking up corners and they're doing it on dirt as opposed to concrete or asphalt.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
That stuff's cool. Yeah.
So,
and it gets you away from then from city of Vancouver charging you for parking that doesn't exist on the weekends.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
So anyway, I just thought that would be kind of a good little question. So it's kind of funny that we were all on the same page with that. We've had that conversation all weekend. All right. Any other bonus questions anybody want to ask? Anybody have something that's hot frying on their pan over there?
So hot.
Nope. It's warm outside. It's going to be like 98 degrees today.
It's going to be hot. What are you doing this afternoon?
Kids practice. I got a swim bike. Yep.
All right. Well, then let's move on to one last thing. Who wants to go first? Matt LeGrand.
I posted 2 videos while I was gone.
How'd you do that?
I pre-recorded the talking head part and then edited it during vacation, which was not great. Well, I've been working on that open water swimming video for like 3 months. That thing. Okay. Funny. You put in a big effort on a video, it will tank. It will bomb. I mean, I really like the video.
It took so long to get the information.
To get all the data and stuff, which is not hard. Like, it's like, get to go swim again. But, so I put that video out, and I really like that video, and so I think that's what I need to just remind myself.
Go watch it, people.
If people don't watch it, it's fine. It's a good video. I just need to be more, like, confident that it's like, nope, that's a good video. Like, it doesn't matter who watches. It doesn't matter what the numbers say. That's a good video. It's interesting because you're just, so much data and you're getting to swim a whole bunch and test a whole bunch of products. So it's good.
Pretty cool.
And then I posted a video talking about all the triathlon channels, which was...
I just watched that this morning.
So that video for me is like, let's sneak a video in for the week.
Because you can pull clips from the other
clips from other people and just talking head and then throw some stuff out there. And it's still good. Like, I think I want to do that video once a year where it's like, here's some channels to check out. Like, because I like that kind of stuff. I love finding new channels. We've talked about this before.
Sure.
And it's just so much fun to be like, oh, I've never even seen this. And what's even better is the comment section. People will be like, oh, have you seen this one? And you're like, nope. And it's really good. And I'm like, oh, okay. So there's some pro triathlon channels that I had not even known about.
I could do even a hot take video for you of pro triathlon channels I do not like.
Oh.
I have like 6 probably in my head where I'm like, this channel sucks.
My problem is
really no. I mean, like it's never gotten better. The video quality's terrible, and it's like, dude, I know this
negativity. That's a great idea.
My problem is with that.
Positivity's overrated, man. No, we need. we need more hard hitters out there.
There's a lot of the channels, and I'll even like mention them in videos. Like, you should check this one out, and I'm like, I don't like it personally, but you know, I don't tell people that.
You
but
do
it's
you?
Like,
Yeah.
But like even like Lionel Sanders' channel, it's like a good channel. It's probably the most popular channel.
I think it probably
I don't
is.
really watch those videos.
Really?
I don't.
But
I mean,
Lionel's,
it's good.
Lionel's videos, you need to like his personality.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of his personality in them. It's kind of like Ari's channel. Like, I think people like Ari's channel because he has a good. It's not like he has amazing video quality. He has great music. He has great music on it.
But it's different. His stuff is very different.
Yeah.
It's not Talbot Cox, right? It's just very different than anyone.
No.
Yeah. So there's. I'll have to show you some comments from that video.
I'd be
there's
interested.
some really cool channels that people have been posting.
Yeah.
So
Cool. All right.
check them out. Check those videos out, people. And I'll post another one this week somehow.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Evan. One last thing.
Woo. I don't know. I got just the Columbia River Tri's coming up this weekend.
There
So
it is.
everybody who should come to it. And if you are a cyclist and you're like, I also jog sometimes, come to it and sign up for one of the
Or
duathlons.
you could come out with Mr. Heppler and me, and we could just heckle people.
Exactly.
Matt, why don't you do a relay and just have somebody do the running leg
Have
for
your
you?
kid. Oh my gosh, do
kids.
a relay with your kids.
Yeah.
Ethan swims, you bike, Dash and Sam run
Dash
together.
runs.
I'll run with them.
Sam supervises.
Seriously, though,
manager.
maybe that's a solution to your little running issue.
There you go.
You can get your swim in, you can get
Maybe.
your bike in, and just have somebody run for you.
Gotta neglect the kids somehow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mr. Heppler.
Yeah.
last thing.
One last thing for me. I'm racing short track tomorrow. I think this weekend is actually Leadville, the 100-mile mountain bike race. I do have
I will
some
be there.
friends doing that. Are you going to be there? No.
I thought maybe you were traveling or something.
Well, it's like not a technical course, so you could actually
That's what I
handle it.
should have
You
been
should
doing.
have been doing
Hindsight
Leadville.
being 2020. Tell you right was not my jam.
So that's exciting. But I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. I'm hoping that I'm just going to block for teammates at the short track race tomorrow so that make sure all my teammates make the podium.
Do you have any chance of landing on the podium?
No. I missed the first race, and
So
that was out of
mathematically,
it.
you're
I'm out.
eliminated now
Yeah.
from a podium finish?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So Sunday, you want to ride with me and Josh?
Sunday is actually the Portland Bridge Pedal, which is kind of a huge event in Portland.
Oh.
It is a big one.
In the past, it's been like 10,000 cyclists because they shut
Nice.
down they shut down 6 of the 7 bridges in downtown Portland, and you get to ride across all of them.
That's kind of neat.
It is a fundraiser for, I don't know, for something good. It's a fundraiser for something good. It starts very early in the morning, like 7 a.m. But
What bike will you ride?
it'd be a road bike,
Okay.
probably, if I can fix it before then.
What's wrong with it?
Well, the tire went flat, and I took the tire off, and the derailleur hanger exploded when I took the tire off. I'm trying to put it all back together. So I'm working on
I feel like
it.
there's a lot that happened in between.
So maybe I'll be on the gravel bike. All I need is the screw. Is all I need.
Take the whole hanger. That's the new Wheels manufacturing one. That's the
All right,
nicer alloy that's not going to bend as easily as the.
Problem solved. Thanks, Jake.
There you go.
That's what I'm here for,
Happy
boys.
birthday. It's a birthday, so we wrap it back around.
Something like that.
It's a great birthday gift. Rear
you
derailleur
go.
hanger.
Jake, go.
My one last thing is cyclocross is coming.
Whoa.
Is anybody going to race cyclocross this year? Evan, will you
Price.
finally? No, not going to do it.
No.
You said before in the past you were going to do it, and it
I'm
never
all-
happened.
We're all in on
I've said a lot.
Said a lot of
things in the
stuff.
past. Yeah, this is me
First
and-
race is
me-
3.5
me and Matt have said a lot
weeks.
of
It
things.
is.
3.5
Matt,
weeks.
you want to
first
hop
race.
in with me?
Yeah, I'm in. All in on cyclocross. There's a funny clip of me somewhere in there talking about cyclocross. I love cyclocross. I thought I was gonna love it.
That should be our
I can
joke
just-
now.
I
is
can
that
easily quote
every
it.
time there's a big mountain bike race coming up or cyclocross race,
I thought I was gonna love it.
Matt?
We're Evan and Matt are in. Yeah, it's
That's
all right.
funny. Well, anyway, the moral of this whole little one last thing is that we have our dialed cycling team practices coming up for cyclocross.
Oh, cool.
Those
And
are fun.
It'll probably start a week from this coming Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday evenings at 6 p.m. out at Vancouver
Nice.
Lake. If you're local and you want to come out, we'll be putting the invite out on Strava and up on our Slack page. And then we'll go out there and we'll do the whole cyclocross practice thing and get people prepped and ready to go and answer a bunch of questions for those that have never raced a cyclocross bike
These are
before.
free events as
Yep.
well. So show
Yeah,
up.
You get a bunch of tools and devices and courses and people that are going to be out there.
You can show up on any bike, right?
Yes.
Like mountain bike / cross
Yes.
bike /
That, Jake, you need a cyclocross bike.
This is
GT
100% correct. I do have my gravel bike.
You can race your gravel bike.
But it's not ideal for
Not the same for
No.
a cyclocross race. If you're at the pointy end of the field, it's not quite the same.
correct. I've got to track one down between now and then if I'm going to try and be competitive. So
my plan this year in cyclocross, I'm not going to be doing the whole season again.
You can travel?
I am going to be traveling the whole month of November. I'll be gone.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Belgium, the Netherlands, France,
There's
Germany,
no cyclocross there.
Greece.
They hate cyclocross there.
I'm hoping to watch a race in Belgium
do you think you
or
could
in
do
the
like
Netherlands.
do you think you could do like hop in some sort of weird race?
No.
I mean, not like a pro race, but I'm talking about like some sort of like local.
Maybe.
That'd be freaking
I'd
awesome.
have to get a hold of a bike over
that
there.
would make for a great
rent one.
video. You
I
need to
could
do
rent a
this.
bike if they let me rent.
just
a
to say
cyclocross
that you
bike.
did
I did a cyclocross race in the
Belgium,
Netherlands.
yeah,
That would be cool.
And
That
then you
would
could
be
go around
freaking
and ask
awesome.
if they know who Matt Legrand is.
That's right.
Probably would.
Do you guys know who Matt Legrand is? He's a really good cyclocross racer from the
Yeah,
Pacific Northwest.
I've heard of him.
go over there and promote the podcast too, right? So yeah, that's coming up, and that should be a lot of fun.
Love it.
Cyclocross, I just finished the race and I was like, that sucked. Crashed a couple times. My bike handling isn't that great. Yes, I'm not good at this. And I thought I was going to be good. It's so true. I really did. I thought it's like, this is just like cross country. I love this.
All right, we will be back next week with another podcast. We do appreciate everybody listening, and until then, bye for now. Do you have some swamp ass?
What's your swamp ass situation?
Well, let me tell you. How much time do you have?
How much time you got?